All right, in this one, I'm going to share how you can improve your energy throughout the day if you ate like a really carb heavy meal or like a really fatty meal. So, what you can do, like, let's say, for example, you woke up in the morning for some reason, you did a vigorous workout, it was really good, the session was really good, but you decided to go and have a really bad, heavy, carb heavy meal. So, what happens then? By 10 o'clock, you are like already dizzy and a little bit tired. You want to take a nap and things like that. You cannot sit in your desk straight. You want to like so badly, you are so badly looking at your bed and like, damn, I feel like I could go and lay down there for a while, just like 10 minutes. And then you go take a nap. It's already like an hour past, and then you are like, it's already like 11 12 p.m, and then you're like, okay, I did a little bit of work, a half an hour of unproductive unquality work. Yeah, now let me go and just have my next carb heavy meal. So let's just say, for instead of doing that, there are like three things you could do to tackle this dizzy tired feeling throughout the day. So first of all, let me introduce myself. Like, my name is Ash. I'm an endurance athlete and an endurance training coach. So basically, what I do is I train entrepreneurs and operators and executives to improve their overall energy throughout the day with a specific type of training called as endurance training, and a little bit of a suitable diet for their lifestyle they live. So with that, I help them to increase their mental space and overall improve their capability to do more and more bigger things. Right now, I'm training like a handful of like dozen clients I have. I'm training them, and by implementing and getting feedback on them, I'm learning new things and I'm trying to share here with you. So the first thing I would say is, first of all, after having like a vigorous training or like a workout session in the morning, just don't go and eat a carb heavy meal. Instead of focus on having like a protein prior meal, something like egg, like meat based food, egg, uh, something like meat, beef, or like chicken, or whatever it is meat related. Then egg. Then you have like the dairy food, yogurt or milk, or the raw milk or something like that, whatever you prefer. So instead of going with carb heavy meal, you can go with the protein heavy meal. So don't go with like the bullshit processed um, like 15 ingredients food, stuff like that. Go with like whole food most of the time. If you're like, okay, let's say, for let's give an example scenario, like for some reason, for your wife or your girlfriend, or you went out and had a carb heavy, not so healthy kind of meal, let's say. What you can do then, like, oh my god, I ate this and now I'm feeling dizzy, I cannot sit straight, like I feel so tired, I cannot focus right, I want to scroll through reels a little bit and distract myself, my creativity is like blocked for whatever reason. So what you can do at this circumstance, what you can do is, uh, you don't have another choice, you just can't tackle, you just have to sit through it and just tackle it. It's not the first advice, but that's, let me finish. For the first 3 hours, let's say from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 1 a.m., just sit through that uncomfortable feeling and finish your work if you already have eat that carb heavy meal. If you didn't eat, thank God, just go with some kind of like, cook 4 eggs with butter, and drink a cup of coffee with butter, or just cook 4 eggs with some kind of good oil like coconut oil, and eat a cup of coffee with like butter or some fresh cream you can find in your locality. So that's the first thing. If you skipped that for some reason, then second thing is you sit through that 3 hours, and then when the lunch comes, you skip the regular lunch you have and just go and eat like 4 eggs cooked with butter, the same, or just like 250 grams to uh, half a pound of beef you could eat, cook, and however you like, and eat it. The reason is, when the carb, you are prioritizing carb and eating it more. If you're prioritizing work, you cannot prioritize carb, because carb, what happens, it spikes glucose level. For because of that, your insulin also spikes, and that's when your mind goes, no, not the time to work now, I need to rest because I'm having a lot of energy, I cannot put it anywhere. Like physically, you need to exert that energy. If you are like an entrepreneur, like someone who sits in front of the laptop, or like your work is digital, you are not going to move your physique as much as like a farmer does, or like a construction worker does, right? So what happens, your mind is willing to shut down because of this, all of this like energy that can be only exerted to physical activities. So what happens, it's willing to crash now, like go and just take a nap. So what you can do is you can take the uncomfortable decision and just work through that. If you have already eaten the morning breakfast as some kind of hard heavy meal, a hard carb heavy meal. So when it comes to the lunch, for God's sake, whatever happens, just go and have prioritize a protein heavy meal so that you won't have that carb crash that you would usually have. By doing this, at least that in the afternoon session, in however your schedule, you won't miss, or you won't be like unpresent in the moment to discuss whatever you are doing in the meeting, or like if you have like having like important call, or if that's like the time you are going to learn about something new, you won't have that tiredness and fatigue and oh my god, I just want to lay down and lay on the floor and just roll for like 5 minutes. You'll have like that kind of feelings, right? So you won't feel all those things. You'll like you would be capable of just sitting and doing whatever is in front of you. So that's like the second thing you can do. First, don't even mess up your breakfast. If you messed it up, just take the uncomfortable decision and do the work anyway. And when the lunch comes, this is the second thing you do. And the third thing is you can just, instead of doing a normal bodybuilding type of workout, what you can do is you can adapt to something called an endurance training. Now, if you are like a bodybuilder, or like or someone who is trying to participate in a stage competition, like go for a bodybuilding style of workout. But if you are like an entrepreneur who is like prioritizing more of his mental well-being to produce more output, like if you think that your brain is your leverage, then you need endurance training, because bodybuilding does not gives you the opportunity to uh, opportunity for your brain to participate more in that physical activity. It's more like the muscles that engage more rather than your brain when you're like pushing the weights in the bodybuilding style, when you think about it. But when the seventh, eighth rep hits, well, like your muscle like literally gives up. Even if you have the best motivation in the world as possible, you cannot push beyond that because your muscles are given up. But when it comes to endurance training, it's literally about enduring the pain that comes from boredom, that comes from this annoying feeling of this workout. This not so hard, but it's like hard enough to irritate you, to annoy you a lot. Your body mind constantly jumping like a monkey to make you stop it, and it's enough. Like you don't need for that extra 1 mile to run, no need for that last 10 reps to do. Just stop the push-ups, stop the squats. It's so irritating. You don't need to do 50 squats. Like all these things, it screams on top of your mind when you're doing like endurance training. So that's when you can literally conquer these voices inside your brain and get used to tackling these voices. You might have already heard that how you do one thing is how you do everything. Same applies to it. If you're able to tackle these voices when you're doing a workout, and matter of fact, physical activity is the best way to conquer our mind and bring our mind under our control instead of it controlling us. You would have seen like monks from Shaolin Temple and like the people who train kung fu and things like that. You would have seen that they put their body under a lot of pain, physical stress to train their mind. They don't just sit and meditate, they also train their physique like crazy. That's the reason behind that. You cannot build your mind with mind, you can only build your mind with your body. So adapt to endurance training. And no, you are not going to lose your muscles because of that. And no, you are not going to build, your gains are not going to be stopped because of it. If you are like offering your body the right nutrition, the right amount of protein, the right amount of um, vitamins and minerals, if you're offering your body all that good stuff, you're not going to stop your gains. And here's the proof of my gains that I've gained with no kind of weight training, with no kind of gym equipments, just through endurance training. So here's a proof for that. Just do the endurance training, regardless of your exhaustion, regardless of whether you're tired, regardless of whether you're having some kind of hard period you're going through life. You are having to deal with a lot of negative emotions, a lot of negative thoughts. If you train your mind enough, you can literally create enough new space, mental space, for you to stand and battle all these things at a time. And if you give yourself the opportunity to battle all these things, all these negative things I talked about, you can literally jump to the next level with ease. You don't need to try to say like an affirmation like, yeah, I'm gonna make like this much amount of money in this much days, yeah, and I'm manifesting these things to saying it, looking at the mirror 5 times a day. You don't need to do none of that. If you just conquer your mind through your body, your mind will automatically be ready to do the next level things, and you don't even need to ask yourself to do that. It will literally ask you to like, it's time to do the next thing. Okay, you literally hear those type of voices, new voices in your mind like, yo, go and do that. The other voices that says, no, 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 we need to stay in your comfort zone, that voice gets suppressed to a very low level. You barely will hear that when you go under endurance training, because you are used to conquering this voice day after day. And now it's like a default setting of yours to conquer all these negative emotions, this lazy, like the voice that pulls you back, not letting you move forward in your life. So that voice literally gets suppressed to a lot of degree. It cannot even raise up because you are like literally training your mind with your body and not the mind with your mind. That's like the bullshit way to approach, like just thinking you are that level of guy, but you are not really. You know that by yourself. So the only way to take yourself to the next level is to put your body through a vigorous training that's called as endurance training. Do that every single day, 20 to 30 minutes. Pick 5 varieties of workout. Do 3 sets of those 5 varieties. Go from one to another and finish without taking rest. If you are fatigued and you want to drink some water, don't drink it. If you want to relax for like 2 minutes, don't do it. 5 to 10 minutes of break in between sets or in between variations. You're on to the next one and finish all those variations within like 20 to 30 minutes. You literally feel like you're about to die at the end of the 30 minutes. I'm like saying for real. Most of, if you're watching, like if you're not used to it, you're not going to be able to do this for 6 times a week, because your mind is not ready for that type of training. But how you can start is, you can start with 20 to 30 minutes for 2 times a week, and you literally feel the change in your mind after like 4 to 5 weeks. I'm not going to say you're gonna feel the change in like 1 or 2 weeks. It takes like 4 to 5 weeks, 21, more like 28 to 40 days, I would say, to feel the change. Because you need to do it day after day after day for your mind to realize this is the normal thing for you to do. Doing the most uncomfortable thing becomes the normal thing for you to do. So if you're like tired and can't get the job done, and if you're feeling like going and taking a nap, we look at these things as like very normal thing, but it's not. We know a feeling, a thought that spawns in your mind and that says, let's go and take a nap, can ruin our whole day. We know that. If when we are like weak enough to listen to that. So don't take these thoughts, these noises in your mind for granted. If you want to conquer these noises, you need to put your body through a lot of pain for your mind to adapt and create new mental space for you to battle these noises. So the first tactic is you just adjust your diet a little bit. That gives like its quick fix you want. Like for today or tomorrow, like you can fix it today. Right now, if you fix your breakfast and your lunch, your day is already fixed. But if you want to go for the long-term benefits, you have to adapt endurance training into your life. So if you are like an entrepreneur, like an operator, or like an executive who want to like go for the next level, and if you're willing to lose a lot of fat, like in 8 to 12 weeks, like not like, I'm not gimmicking here, 8 to 12 weeks, we are willing to lose a lot of fat, anywhere between like 15 to 20 pounds. You can trust on this endurance training, and that's what I'm offering you here. I'm offering like one-on-one coaching for these people I have mentioned. So if you are willing to work with me, I have provided the link below. You can check it out. So yeah, see you in the next one.